Oh, hey.
Hello.
Hey.
How's everyone doing?
So funny story. About 2 minutes before we started, I was brushing my teeth and got toothpaste on my shirt, and I was like, ah! So I was like blow drying it.
Dude, about 20 minutes before we came on, the freaking fire department was at my door. So that's a whole other story. I can share it if you want. Like it's.
Oh my God, that's so
So
funny.
Vanessa.
What happened?
Oh Jesus! I was like excited about this. Like you know how like I get in my head sometimes. So I'm like I'm thinking about a bajillion different things. So I'm simultaneously thinking about this, trying to like prepare. I'm doing the laundry for Dustin before he comes home, and so what calms me is candles, right? And so we have these. I love these guys. They're the big wicks that are like the wood ones. It's like a foot. Like wide. The wick is like this. So what happened was I put the candles on the wash or the dryer, right? And was kind of in a hurry. And so I go upstairs, I take a long shower, just like getting in the zone. All of a sudden, like I hear this banging on the door. So I have shampoo in my fucking head. Like I literally like rush down half of my towel. I open up the door, you guys, like, oh my God, I open up the fucking door. There are three young and like very symmetrical in their faces men, like young, right? No, and so
Symmetrical in their faces.
And they're just staring at me. And so like no one talks for it feels like a year. And so the vibe was so weird. Ladies, I swear to God, I thought someone was playing a joke and had ordered me a stripper because my birthday was a couple weeks ago. No, I shit you not, you guys. Remember? So I'm like, what an epic way to do it. 2 weeks later, like totally throw them off course. So
Oh my God.
there, like the vibe was so weird. So long story short, what had happened was the banging of the dryer had made the candles bump and go out, and our doors, right, it opens up to the back of our neighbor. So with the smoke or the heat of the dryer and then the smoke they smelled from the candles, they clearly didn't know I had this interview with you because they called the fucking.
So there was no fire, but they smelled the fire and they thought there was heat.
They smell the smoke. Yeah, they smell the smoke from the two big candles, and because you know, like when you dry clothes out the window, it's kind of foggy too. You can see.
Yeah.
It looks like smoke, and so they smell the candle burning.
That's amazing.
So. Oh
my gosh. So what did you do?
Can I use like
there's
the video
fire?
portion?
I feel like you should. Are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, good. I was like, I hope she's recording.
I hit record because of my toothpaste thing I thought was funny, but this is way better.
No, because I was thinking the same thing about the shirt thing because I had pasta earlier. I changed my shirt. I was like, I'm not going to have red sauce on my shirt.
Oh my God, you guys.
That's so funny though. I can't believe that.
Send those firemen here. Send them my way.
Yeah, it was. And like, these people, like firemen are good looking, but I was like, you guys are in the wrong industry. Like you guys are, wow. And it was so, like, three of them just standing there. It was so awkward, you guys.
Awesome.
So awkward. I'm standing there. I look horrible in my fucking towel.
I'm sure they were like, ooh, lucky us. So
yeah, they're like, hey.
Yeah.
They're like, look at this girl.
Anyway, it's all good. The fire's non-existent.
The fire's out.
I'm happily here on this interview.
That's hilarious. Oh my
all
God.
right. What do we think? You guys tell me when you're ready to get going.
I'm ready. Baby.
I'm ready. You want to do it? We're already recording, so.
Yes.
Okay.
Get the aura right.
Remember? That's a flashback from my demo reel. If anybody wants to take a look. Sorry. Okay. Ready? All right. Welcome to Stumblin Forward. I'm your host, one of your hosts, Kristin, and
I'm Monica Ortega.
Awesome. So today we're talking to Vanessa Dewing, and Vanessa is a Midwest girl with a Cali heart. Artistic and creator, she is a voice for freedom and authentic storytelling through multiple platforms. She runs a thriving online business teaching others how to leverage the internet to be their own brand and create cash flow in an aligned and authentic way. She also hosts a thriving podcast called Hey World, It's Me, now available on iTunes. Hi, Vanessa. How are you doing today?
Hey, Kristin. That was lovely. I'm blown away.
Thank you very much.
Woo! Thanks for being on the show.
You guys, this is really fun. I think this whole idea is epic, and it's really, really cool just to be in this space. I think it's so fun to connect, and this is a really great idea, so I'm happy for you guys. Yes.
I mean, thank you. Thank you very much. We're not being interviewed though. So
I know.
So Vanessa, you need to tell us about yourself.
I love those questions. Tell me about yourself. Well, my lovelies, what would you specifically like me to share? Like who I am, my every detail up until this moment?
I want to know
starting
when you
before
were born, before the birth, yes, when you were in the womb.
Right?
Yeah, where are you from? What are you doing?
I love, guys, this is really fun. I'm from Chicago. Love it, Chicago. Chi-town, as are you, right, Kristin?
Chicago.
Yes, my friend.
Deep dish pizza.
Oh my,
Yeah.
I shouldn't even ask you this, but Illuminatis or Giordano's?
Illuminatis.
Yes, you guys.
Sorry, but it's definitely Illuminatis.
This is my kind of interview. I love it, guys. So yeah, from Chicago, Illinois. I love it because I feel like like you kind of mentioned, I have this beautiful, just like Midwest-born kind of energy. I love that we are super nice and chill. I think our families are super nice out there. But like I've always had just that like dreaming energy of like the California vibe, the California sun, the California energy. So I took it upon myself to peace out to California. So that's where I am now, which is really, really amazing. And it's really fun because you guys ever feel like I love where I'm from, right? I think we all are products of where we come from, but I love that you can be from somewhere, but then you feel like once you get to this other location or this other environment, you just feel at home. And it blows my mind. Like I have chills right now talking about it, how just at home I felt moving to California. And I think it's so fun when you can have that inspiration. You know what? Like I had the thought, like I've always wanted to move there. It'd be so fun. And then when you follow that thought and follow that inspiration, it opens up this whole, oh my God, world of experiences. And I've been here and I've thrived. I've cried. I've laughed. I've partied my butt off. It's just been so fun. Yeah, Monica's like, here you go. I love it. I've met the man of my dreams, and it's so funny. I love like sharing this. I remember, oh my God, Kristin, do you even know this? Like, so the thought of like telling my very Italian, beautiful mother, where all of my cousins live like next door to each other, and my aunts, you know, so here's me that's like, Mom, I'm gonna go to California, right? So after she was done crying, I like looked at her face. I was like, Mom, listen, I promise you, I promise. The one thing I'm going to do is not date any California boy, right? I'm just going to go. I'm not going to date or even look at any California boy, because she was nervous. She had heard, like, I don't know if you guys feel this, but Midwest, like California, it's like a whole nother world. And so for whatever reason, everyone was saying, oh my God, be careful of the California boys, and just don't even look at them. And so I told my mom, like, I promise, Mom, the one thing I will not do was look or date any California boy. And of course, what do? I like meet the love of my freaking life.
Oh my gosh. I didn't know that, actually, at all. And no one ever told me that when I moved to California.
Really?
Yeah. Everyone told me I was going to meet a fireman. I was like, where was he?
He was at Vanessa's house.
I'm literally, guys, I mean, oh my Lord, I can't even.
That's so funny. So then,
well,
like,
awesome.
How did your goals get going? Like, what was your direction when you came out here, and how has that changed over the years?
That's another question. So going out to California, I know, and I did. I love acting, right? I'm an artist, just like you, Mon. I love that. And so going out there, I had planned just to kind of try the industry, and it's so fun. I went out there, did some commercials, got my SAG and AFTRA card, which is so exciting. And it's so interesting. I remember, so the first week that I arrived, I was going to find a job, right? Like just to get a job, get my feet like started so I could have some income. And so again, this is so Vanessa again. I accidentally took down the wrong directions. I had met this woman at Coffee Bean, and just she gave me directions to look for a job. Why I listened to her, I have no freaking idea. But I took down this directions to go like to this temp agency to go help me look for a job. So I wrote down the directions, I'm going there, and I took the wrong turn. So I end up going into this building and going into the room that I thought she had given me. I open up the door, and it's like this room full of like middle-aged men that were doing insurance. And literally, it's a room where you open up the door, and every desk is pointed at the door. It's so small, like you can't help but notice when anyone opens this door. So I walk in, here's like little blonde Vanessa. I'm like, is this for jobs? And they're like, who the hell are you? So it's so funny. So what ended up happening, this still blows my mind. The one closest to me, he like liked my energy or how I answered hello or something. So invites me in, he sits me down. Long story short, of course, in Los Angeles, he had a friend that was casting for a movie the next day. So he's like, you know what? We're going to call up this director right now and see if you can come down and audition for this film. And so it's so funny. So the role was for a girl that was kind of like a little bit just not all put together because she had been strangled or something. And so so he said, come like what do they say, like where you're supposed to put on makeup even though it says clean face
Camera
and like
ready.
like camera ready or whatever. And so I missed the memo. I literally come totally barefaced, and all these other girls, even though we were like beaten, had their hair done and makeup curled and like still had the look. So I show up looking so unprepared. I go in, it was like the worst experience of my life. I'm like shaking, and I just mumbled my line. It was so ridiculous, but it's so funny how things like kind of come into place like that. So it was a good experience to kind of try. So.
Starting out that way and just, stumbling into the room. It's like, that's just perfect.
Who does that? I literally stumbled into the wrong door, and it ended up being my
so funny. So that's awesome. So like big goal, big picture now, like I know you're working on the podcast, which I think is great. Because I think it's like, it started, I listened to the first episode and it was like, and then I listened to like better ones, but it's getting longer. It's getting more extensive. It's reaching out to other people. Like, how do you feel about that?
I'm stoked about that. So what's really fun about that, Dustin, when he first met me, I like left a voicemail on his phone, and he's like, you know what? This was so random. He's like, you should really do like a podcast one day. You have like a nice voice. You speak kind of well or whatever. It's like, oh, okay. I love you. Hi. And so I did, I just did some tests and some trials of like speaking and like looking into podcasts. And what ended up happening was I just kind of had this vision, like kind of like we're doing now, like just talking to people, whoever wants to listen. So it's fun because the podcast turned in, it was a hobby that kind of started off, right? And so it's kind of fun because my whole vision was that with that is really for you. It's called Hey World, It's Me, because it's not even about me or the host, or I don't even really say that I'm the host that much, because I want the people, I have an intention of pick any episode and listen for you to get yourself in that space for just 15 minutes of feeling better, of feeling more open, because that's how it works with the universe, where when you can get in that vibration, oh my God, it's amazing what comes to you. And so that's my intention. It's fun because, again, it started as a hobby, and I've had like 1,200 downloads. I've had random people like message, like there's girls that are like 16 and like message how they listen on their way to school, which is kind of fun. And then there's women that are like 6D and are so happy they have this, and just are so thrilled to be able to connect with a different like image of the world and who they are, and really look at themselves in a different way. And just again, just like I just love the idea of like, you have the power within you. I'm like looking at you, like Kristin, you already have the power within you, right? We just got to remember that.
Right
like
here.
It's, I see it, girl. It's like amazing light. Yes, I love that. So it's super fun. So with that, I want to like see if I want to start interviewing people, or how that can kind of play out, because it's been really fun. And then it's at a point where I'm like, now people are kind of being impacted. So how can I impact even more? And just plant the seeds of whenever people are ready to listen and hear and grow from it. It's pretty fun. So
I love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So if we're trying to reach people that also like are kind of at the beginning of their goals and just starting out, what advice would you give to somebody that hasn't really started anything yet, but is super interested in it? What if they're like multi-passionate, don't know which way to go? What are your thoughts?
I love that. And that was kind of like me too. I have all these things I want to do. I love acting. I love the arts. I love speaking. I love empowering people. I love freaking fun, like having fun and laughing and playing and imagining and creating. So it's kind of fun. I kind of went in the direction of this like online space where I'm now utilizing all parts of me to kind of fund the acting and fund everything else, which is really fun. And then, you know what, we can edit this out. What was your question again? I'm so sorry.
It's fine. We're going to drink every time you say fun.
Yeah.
Advice for people. Now I can't talk. What advice would you give to people that are just starting out, that like want to move toward a goal? What's like the big thing you've learned?
Okay, so this is really fun because I'm a big believer, and this can go for anything, whether you are faithful or believe in God, or if you're spiritual. I love the idea that and this is something I know, not just for me, but for every one of us, we come from a source that is greater than us, right? I love that. I know that. I feel that. And I really want that to be like the message for everyone, because it's truth, right? And we know it when you feel good, when you feel inspired, when you feel lit up about something. Like that's your higher self, that source that just is telling you, yes, you're there. So I think the thing that's fun is it's as simple as just freaking try it, right? When this whole COVID thing started, I was like, you know what, universe? I sat down, I was like, all right, tell me what I need to know. Give me a book. If I'm gonna be home, I want to freaking read, right? And so I went online to Amazon, just like pulled up and typed in some letter. And the first thing that came up was the top 10 things dead people want you to know. And I was like, oh God. So, so of course I ordered the book, I got it. And it's really cool, you guys. The most prominent thing with that book, which I believe, and I so believe, is that we are here on this earth, this physical world. Not only are we on like the leading edge of creation, and just being a human is so freaking epic, but we're here to play. You can't get it wrong. So like, I love that idea of diving in, just trying it, just playing it, because here's the thing. Even if you think you fail in some way, I know hands down, this is how it works, you guys. And I talk about this in my podcast. The contrast, if you thrive on that contrast, or like not thrive, but appreciate the contrast, what happens is, let's say you try something, right? It doesn't go as you planned. What's so epic is that contrast brought up an emotion or an idea that you launched a rocket for, that you wouldn't have known unless that contrast happened. So in my mind, it's like, oh my God, like, why wouldn't you just get up and play life full out and just freaking try? And I think people get in their own heads, like their own limiting beliefs of what are people going to think? Who the hell cares? Everyone's going to have an effing opinion. Why not do something for you? Make yourself happy, because it's your fucking life. I just swore, sorry. It's your life.
You can fucking swear. It's no problem.
Swear.
It's your life, girl. It's your life. Fucking swear.
It's such passion. It's like a passion swear. Like, it's kind of like that study they did where people that say the F word when they do like a workout get, I guess, like stronger muscles. I believe that shit. So fucking swear, baby. Fuck yes to this.
Is that a science?
It is.
Because I'm definitely gonna do that next time I'm at the gym.
I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it when I go running and be really creepy, just through the neighborhood.
You're on the hiking hill and someone's like, you need to, like, you can't do that, but you're scaring the animals.
That's amazing.
Oh,
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's really cool.
So what about like mistakes? You don't believe that there's mistakes, but like what advice do you have, or what mistakes have you made that you would tell people to avoid?
Ooh, this is a good one. Okay. This is a really good one that I wished I would have known, and now I'm working on it, but this is the advice I have that I think is so fun. Okay, what I would love for you to do, my lovely friends, anytime, let's say you want to do something, or you have something coming up that you want to do, it's an idea you have. This is what I would love for you to do. Don't tell anyone for 1 week. I want you to sit with yourself. I get chills again, oh my God. Sit with yourself and be with that higher self that I always like to talk about, or that God force, or that higher being, and journal the crap out of it. Like, what does it feel like? What is your idea? Like, what does it feel like? What does it look like? What thoughts come up for you? And the reason why I say this is, I'm someone that, like, I love people, and I love my relationship with my parents. And it's so interesting because everyone's in their own perspective, right? Like, even right now, like, we are 3 people that had something happen before this call. Yeah, we did. We had, like, we came from an energy, like, we were all in our own perspective right now. So what's interesting is, you may have this idea to start a business or start a jewelry company that you are so excited about, right? And I like that feeling, you guys. Listen to that. It means something when you get lit up, when you feel that is the energy that I believe we're connected to, this God source, this source higher than us that knows the plan and just is like, yes, here you go. And what happens is we get so excited. What do? We run out and we tell our best friend, or we tell most formally, like, we tell our parents first and foremost, because we want to have that connection. And your parents are not in that same mindset that you were. So what happens is, out of love, most of the time, they'll give their 2 cents, or they'll think, because our brain is wired this way. We're like, we want to relate, we want to connect. And they'll think of a story that happened that they know that didn't work out, and they tell this to you. So what happens is that balloon of like light and excitement, it starts to just go into this nothingness, and you kind of lose that inspiration because of the drowning of other people's thoughts. And it's, again, like, it's not even a bad thing, because people I know mean well, or they want to relate and they want to help you and or save you from the pain because they've tried it themselves. Fuck that. Like, you are on your journey. You had that idea for a reason. And again, I'm a believer too. If it's not this, it will lead to something in some place that you're meant to be. And the journey along the way is going to be so epic. You're going to thank God that you took a step forward. And that's all it is one step forward. And then boom, you're on this journey.
You know, my favorite thing that you ever told me that I say all the time is all this or something better.
That is I have chills. Yes. All of this or something even better. And that's like a great thing that you can do, you guys, if you like to journal, if you like to write your stuff out, or even like planning, you know, how your next you're talking about goals, Monica, like planning how your goals want to go, write it out. Yes. And just, and be as detailed as you can. But I always love, it's like the pressure's off when you can at the end say all of this or something even better. Because a lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but I get like friggin' neurotic. I'm like, oh my God, did I get everything down? Did I get every detail right? And that's so controlling. And take it from me, like, it usually goes the opposite of when you're that controlling. So write out what you'd love. I always like to say, like, the question of, okay, what would I love? Not like, what do I want? Because that frequency of wanting is just the wrong way to be. It's more demanding. It's actually lack when you're like, I want that. Like, you'll never have what you want because you're practicing the opposite end of that stick of the lack, right? So if you sit and just kind of open up your, I'm like, so Callie, open up your heart space, open that heart space up, open up the heart space and just really say, what would I love? And just that feeling. And when we say love, like, it's like, I mean, go back to simplicity of like, I love a good cup of coffee. And to me, it's like that energy of just ease, and I smile, and it's a nicer feeling than trying to force something that you want because, you know, you think you need it. So
yeah. And staying present, honestly, because like that's what I feel like when you said that, and you were saying like, don't tell anybody, you know, journal it and write it down and marinate in that feeling, so that it's like, not that somebody in your immediate life is going to like take out the light or, you know, just, you know, blow it out or whatever, but it's more about so that you can understand exactly what's happening in your motivation first. And then once you like express it to somebody else, then it's really out there and it really means something even more, which I love that. And I didn't even think about it like that, like when you like, and it's said, because everyone's like, tell someone and then you're held accountable. But no, it's more about like, you hold yourself accountable.
And I'm all about, I love, collaboration. Like, what you talk about expands, right? That's why I'm so powerful with my words. And I really watch like what I say, and because words are powerful. Words create your reality. So I'm all about giving yourself. It's really about you. I'm like a big, like, you are the power person. Like, you are the center of your reality. So give yourself the power of sitting and just being with yourself. And like, what do you, Kristin, what do you, Monica, have an intention for? What is it like? What does this look like to you? And then when you can get, like you said, Kristin, clear about that, then talk about it, because you have that more solid connection. Like, nope, you know where you're going. You feel more confident. So I love that little gap of like,
that's great.
You have an idea, my friends, write it for a week. Just sit, journal for like 5 minutes every day. Like, do you know how much information you could do if someone has an idea right now, you sat and wrote about it? That's pretty cool. So
So where do you see yourself in 5 years then? Like, what's the big goal?
I love these questions. And you know what I love, like, on this show, I feel like you're interviewing people that are taking a step forward, and which is so powerful, but also we're all humans, right? Like, even freaking the most successful person is still growing. And I've come to know, I love this, guys. I have like chills again.
That's the thing, is everyone is like different. We all have our own journey. And that's the point, you know?
We're all like stumbling forward.
Okay. Sorry. You know what I love about your no, you know what I love about the title too, stumbling forward. You're always going to move forward, right? Like, I used to think like, oh my God, when you get that first love, or when you get married, like, oh, your life is done. No more things that you want, right? Or you get your first booking for a job. Like, you're going to get there. You're always going to want more. So the key of life is like, it is expansion. It is growing. And I love, love, love that, because I've come to know that. And I don't know about you guys, but like, again, I used to be so perfectionist, so like have to control every detail or map out, this is exactly the way I want my life to go. And to be honest, if I had done that and been so in control, with stuff that had happened in my past or when I was younger, I would not have been open to seeing my Dustin or my experiences or moving out to California, like all these things when we just kind of surrender. So I love this question. I'm going to respectfully hold space to keep it open. I have an idea of where I'd love to be. I'd love to be fully happy in my life, in myself, wake up every day and just vibe high. When we say it like vibe high, just that frequency of just living the best quality of life. And I think for me, I love people and I love moving people. So doing that with this online space that I've totally dived into and loved, and I'm helping people. I just met a woman in London, and just it's so fun with energy how you can meet someone online and just that energy of connection where I haven't even met her yet, but I know I love her, which is really, really cool. It's cool to me, to be honest. And then with my podcast, I love, and then I do, I see like the acting I love so much. And this I'm really pumped for. I don't want to claim this, but like something in me says like later in life, like, you know, like Betty White, where she like got her start at like, or she like was thriving at 60 on that show when she was, you know, a series regular at like 60, and she's like freaking 95 and she's still going. So I know that's on my path, and I'm so open and surrendering to when. And it's fun because like in between, so it's so funny. I love this. Like I'm such like this dichotomy of like, I have this like spiritual kind of like positive and just like helping podcast. And I just did like a short thriller, which was so epic to be on and being like just thriller. It's so funny to have all these like aspects, but I think that's what makes people fun. Like we're all these multidimensional kind of beings with different interests and lots of fun stuff to explore and do in this amazing world. So yeah, I'm excited.
I just had this conversation actually with a friend too about keeping that space open, and especially for people that are multi-passionate, like all of us are. It's interesting to be like, I don't know how these paths are going to cross, but I know they're going to cross, and then just picking a direction to go and knowing the others will come back around. So I think that's a great answer.
That is a great answer. I like
and
that.
I love like for those that kind of struggle, like, and I did for a while, like, oh my God, like, should I go this or do this or this? One, like, as we talked about earlier, and like Monica and Kristin, you guys both have done so well. Just freaking start, do something, because taking that step will lead you to something else, like whatever you're meant to be.
Yeah.
But also just being open. I love like doing this, like get to the core of the intention or the emotion of what do you love? And for me, oh my God, I love moving people. I love aliveness, and I love like the highest quality of life in all areas. But it's like that aliveness that just I thrive for, and that will come, that is coming in multiple avenues, but just that is like my intention, like that, you know what I mean? Just like that aliveness.
Yeah.
It's so funny because I have like my brother, I love him so much. He's such a beautiful soul, but like
Brandon or Chris?
Brandon, like it's so funny. Christopher's more like Brandon, I love so much. Like one example is, so I like was reading this or listening to this YouTube episode about like just again like people's passions, and so this guy was saying how he works with two accountants, and the one guy is so miserable, like he hates being there because just the energy of this guy is just, you can tell he hates his job, and it's horrible. But this other accountant he works with is this woman who he literally goes on to say, he's like, you know what, I swear to God, counting numbers is like eating ice cream to this woman. Like she thrives on it. She loves it. So my brother's an accountant, so I text Brandon, I was like, yo bro, like, oh my God, are counting numbers like ice cream to you? Like, do you really thrive on doing that? And literally, you know, Brandon, he texts back, he goes, nah sis, it pays pretty decent and it's okay. Like that. I was like, wow, okay. So like, it's so funny because we talk about us three, that people that are more just dreamers or just like visionaries, right? Like, and I love that, but like, it's okay if you're not. And to be honest, like I just had this conversation with Dustin. I don't know if you guys feel like this as artists or as visionaries, like you have these ups and downs of like, some days I love, you guys, I literally get geeked the F out at how much I know who I am, who we all are, where we are in this world is limitless. This world of creation is limitless, and I love that. So you think about how much you can dream, limitless. We live in such abundance, right? And then the other end of that, sometimes I do wish I was like Brandon, whose biggest dream is just to have a job and be home and have a beer. Like it's so beautifully simple, and I like go to these extremes sometimes.
And that's still happiness, you know? It's just like they see their family, and then that's
Dude,
like
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is like everyone has their level of happiness, and it's that is happiness to him, and it's beautiful because that is people's happiness, you know. And it's, nothing's wrong. Like I fully believe we're not here to prove anything right, or we're not like, nothing's wrong. Like we are all is so well, right? And it's about diving into this world. And again, like loving and appreciating and being comfortable with the contrast, because it expands you to something else that you didn't think about. And just all these like different avenues of creation, you guys. Like we are creators at the core of our being, every single one of us. And whether you're creating to have a beer and that's your life, or you're creating to freaking go to the moon, like it's all okay, and it's all you, and it's so beautiful.
Great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was great.
Oh, I love it. I get fired up.
All right.
Awesome.
So where can people find you? Or is anything else you want to share? I mean, how do people reach out to you?
I love connecting with people that are visionaries, people that just want to talk or expand or feel better. So you can find me. I love social media. You can find me on there, or you can find me on my website at vanessadewing.net. So it's VANESSADEWING.net. It's so fun. And there you'll get to see about my online business, how that works. And then you'll see how my vision is like for artists too, using the space and the income it's creating, and just the freedom of expression. Like you literally get to show up as you. I want to create the space for other artists. So I'm like literally stripping. I hate the way that people are like, oh, broke artists, and it's become like a joke. No, fuck that. Like I want artists that are thriving in income, and then thriving in their creativity, and thriving in just creating, and just thriving all around. Like I love this word thriving, and I think it's such like a California hokey word, but I legit love it. Like I want us all to freaking thrive. So definitely VanessaDewing.net. Would love to connect. I'm there on social media or on Facebook. So Instagram or Facebook. I think on Instagram, I think Vanessa Marie Dewing, and then Facebook, Vanessa Dewing.
Awesome. And the podcast is on iTunes, right?
Yes. Oh my God. I'm so pumped. Yeah. And stay tuned for more. I kind of want to take it in this like expanded direction too, and see, how it can impact more. But yeah, so it's on iTunes. It's called Hey World, It's Me, and it's literally a podcast for you. So I love it.
Love it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Vanessa. That's awesome. Thank you for coming on the show, honestly.
Yes.
Great.
I'm so pumped for you. So what are your intentions for, like, what are you most excited about for this new show, you guys? This is kind of fun.
I think we're excited just to reach out to people that are also at the beginning stages of their journey, or maybe in the middle, but just kind of going through it and going through the tough stuff and the ups and downs of it, and learning from each other and learning that we're not alone. That's kind of
showing people. Yeah, just like sharing and showing, and like somebody else can listen to this and be like, oh my gosh, like that's exactly how I'm feeling, and I relate to this person. And I think it's really important for people to know that they're not alone. So
we can talk about, like, I have a question for you guys. This is kind of fun. I always love to know, and for me too, like, the question is, so yes, especially as entrepreneurs and dreamers and visionaries like you do, it's like this array of ups and downs, right? And I think number one, for sure, just being consistent. Like, Monica, I'm so proud of you. I remember the days where like you kept going, girl. And I'm like, it literally is an inspiration to me. It's so fun. And like, we're going to do another freaking a co-hosting one. It's so fun. I love like working with people, right? But also on those days where like you just want to give up, or you feel like you're so lost, what do you guys do? You have like a tool, or what do you do just to get yourself back up?
This was actually, it's funny because from you, I get the whole, all this or something even better. And for Kristin, I hear in my voice all the time, just get one thing done. And so on days where I'm just not feeling it, unless I have things I need to do, sometimes I'm just not going to edit that day. So it's like, get one thing done. Okay, let me answer some emails, and then I'm going to give myself a break. It's really just honoring wherever I'm at in that day, as long as I know in the big picture I can stay on track.
Yeah. And it's hard not to be hard on yourself on those days, because like you do think like, I should be more productive, I should be doing something. But I always like, sometimes I have to remind myself this, but I always go back to that one video of the Marine saying like, if you make your bed in the morning, you've already gotten one thing done. And I make my bed every morning.
Yes, because of that Marine.
Because of that video.
Yeah.
And so that always helps, like knowing that things are kind of in order, and that helps me being like, okay.
So maybe get two things done.
Yeah, I get two things done all the time.
I made my bed. We're good.
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna go lay in it. So,
I love that. Yeah, it gets me kind of lit too between us three. Like, and this just kind of came to me. I love this. I've been such a believer too. I just know like everyone's on their own journey, right? So you kind of plant these seeds and just you keep showing up, because people at their own times will remember something you said, or it will come together in the perfect timing. So
Yeah,
it can be stoked. Even like this, you launch this episode, it could be, you know, someone right away like take something from it, or even like a year down the road, 20 more people are in that space to hear and really just be in alignment of just their question being answered by something one of us said. Like, doesn't that make you so like, oh, that gets my heart pumping? Because guys, it just, like, on a serious note, like, it just shows you we're all in this world freaking together. Like, we literally are all parts of this one soul. Like, we're oneness. It's consciousness, and we're all effing together. And I freaking I love it.
In this
in
world.
it together. Well, on that note, you guys can find us on iTunes and Spotify. Be sure to give it 5 stars, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And we're actually recording this and we're putting the videos on YouTube as well, in case you want to see our faces as we do all this stuff. So yeah, be sure to tune in for more, and you can find us on social media at Stumblin Forward Podcast. So thank you so much for Vanessa.
Thanks,
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I'm Monica Ortega.
I'm Kristin Herman.
And we'll see you guys next time.